You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Wait a minute, guys. I cannot believe this. If you guys remember, Sugar Bowl's going on in New Orleans, and this is actually a few days after the terrorist attack in New Orleans when a deranged lunatic killed something like 15 people or something like that. Don't remember the exact number. Sugar Bowl is actually pushed back a day. It's on ESPN. And what does ESPN do? They refuse to show the national anthem. They caught a lot of heat, folks. Everyone was slamming them for not showing the national anthem, man. Because on televised events, nationally televised events, the national anthem is always played. But ESPN, for some reason, just refuses to actually play the national anthem. Now, ESPN is a woke company, no doubt about it. But hey, still showed the national anthem. When NBA players were kneeling in that bubble, ESPN had no problem whatsoever showing the disrespect to the country and the national anthem when woke NBA players were on their knees in the name of Marxism. Yes. But now, guys, ESPN has caught so much heat. I believe actually, what was it, NFL game? After ESPN called heat, they actually showed the national anthem. Funny how it works, right? If we put on the heat, they will change their ways. Now we actually have an ESPN executive coming out and slamming ESPN for not showing the national anthem. Now, ESPN did make a statement on the reason why they didn't show the national anthem during the Sugar Bowl. They made the excuse, oh, it's a timing issue. No, ESPN is the one that actually plans out all this. They know exactly to the T when the anthem's going to be played. They know everything. They're producing the game. They know that. But some woke idiot over there made the decision to not show the national anthem, and people notice. ESPN now, they deserve all the heat. But this executive, his name is Burke Madness, is now calling out ESPN, calling it a horrible error and a terrible mistake. And we got the audio, guys. We have the audio. I'm absolutely shocked, man, that somebody at ESPN would actually come out and put the network on blast. Yes, the worldwide leader in woke put on blast by one of their own. So let's go ahead and look at this, guys. ESPN drew widespread criticism earlier this month for not carrying the national anthem ahead of the Sugar Bowl, which was postponed today following a deadly terrorist attack on the game's host city of New Orleans. The network also ignored the pregame moment of silence for the terror victims and the subsequent chants of USA. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I believe, guys, that ESPN hates this country. ESPN publicly acknowledged the incident for the first time on Wednesday when Vice President Burke Madness was asked about the decision on Sports Business Journal's Sports Media Podcast. Madness called not showing the anthem a horrible error and a terrible mistake. He said the decision falls on the people back in Bristol. Yeah, that's the ESPN headquarters, guys, and should be held accountable for that. So let's go ahead, guys, and listen into this clip. This may have actually been on ESPN radio, but I'm not sure. But let's go ahead and listen in, guys.
I know there's a little bit of controversy regarding you guys not covering the anthem in New Orleans for the game. Can you speak about that?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, actually. Let me just say this. There's a group of people in Bristol who just made an enormous mistake. It was a human error. It happens. I don't want to minimize it by any stretch. But as you noted, like nothing was normal about that next day, including our programming lineup, where we normally would have had College Game Day and that crew leading into the game. It wasn't that. It was Sports Center, which is done out of Bristol instead of inside. I could give you a whole host of reasons why it was not the normal circumstance. But at the end of the day, that was just a horrible error that was made by a group of really well-intentioned people who feel terrible about it. I lost my father over the holiday break, and he was an Army veteran, and there was nothing more important to him than his military service. My parents took my sisters and I to West Point every single week. We had season tickets to Army football growing up. The notion that was somehow intentional, or we were trying to avoid acknowledging what was a horrific situation in New Orleans was really misplaced. It was just a mistake that we feel terrible about. And by the way, we should be held to account for, right? Like we want to be as good as we can possibly be at all times. And even though it was not a normal situation, our traffic got fouled up, our timing got fouled up. We happened to be in commercial break when the anthem happened. It was just not good by any measuring stick, and not up to our standards. I think what you have seen since then in terms of the other CFP games are NFL games in week 18 in the wild card. Like, we're not avoiding the anthem, quite the opposite. It's a special moment for all sports fans at big events. And, you'll see the same treatment in the college football championship game coming up on Monday.
Well, pretty much, guys, he's saying that ESPN is not going to avoid the anthem again because they know they were catching heat, and they were wrong. Yeah, right. Week 18, man, they played the anthem. College football games, they played the anthem. ESPN, those people that made the decision to not show the anthem, they should be in serious trouble. Now, I highly doubt that's actually going to happen, man, because ESPN still is a woke company, but it is nice that one of their executives is actually coming out and putting the network on blast for that. It's inexcusable, guys. I mean, the Sugar Bowl is a big game. That's one of the biggest games of the year. College football playoff, man, and you don't show it? I mean, what would happen, guys, if ESPN actually ended up getting the Super Bowl? And we know, guys, when it comes to the Super Bowl, man, the anthem is huge. Halftime is huge. Everyone expects to see the anthem being sung at the Super Bowl. And what if the network decided, nah, we ain't gonna show that? Like it's on Fox this year. What if Fox said, nah, we ain't gonna show the anthem? People would be furious with Fox if they did that. But this seems to be a common theme now with ESPN. Hopefully, though, they finally learned their lesson. And with the Heat, man, I guess they probably did. But like I said, man, it only takes one event to make ESPN go full nuts again and go completely woke again. This is a woke company that is failing. People really aren't watching ESPN, man. When it came to the NFL ratings for this season, ESPN was a negative on the ratings for the NFL season, where other networks, they were kind of up a little bit. But ESPN, they're way down, guys. If I'm not mistaken, I believe, because I did a video on this, the viewership was down something like 14 or 20% from last season. Yeah. Disrespecting the country, man. That is the worst possible way to get people to turn off their televisions and not watch you. Boy, they have it, guys, man. ESPN used to be the worldwide leader in sports. They're just the worldwide leader in woke, guys. No other way to put it. Gonna leave right there, guys. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.